In this video, I'm going to be giving you my full review of this NordicTrack's most popular treadmill, 1750. I'll share with you the things that I like and, more importantly for review purposes, the things I don't like. I'll also explain why I think this is a fantastic treadmill, a really good treadmill for about 93% of users. I'll tell you whether you're in that 93% and if you're in the 7% that it's not suitable for, I'll give you a fantastic alternative as well. Let's get cracking. First is delivery. Now it's a 3-person delivery, comes in 2 very big boxes, and my advice is to get them to put it exactly in the place you're going to be using it. Now you can pay for NordicTrack's white glove service where they will build it for you. I mean, if you can build a wardrobe, you can build this, and I would say building it yourself means you'll have a lot more confidence with the machine, you'll know how it goes together, and if you allow, say, 2 to 2.5 hours to fully unpack and then fully build this machine, you'll be fine. It will also save you some money. I would say a lot of it can be done by 1 person, but you definitely need 2 people for the second half of the build. Treadmills do take up a good bit of space, so one of the things we really like about the 1750 is that it easily folds up. And if you're using this in your household for an hour a day, there are 160 plus hours where it's not being used, and getting this floor space back when it's not in use is a real bonus. The hydraulic piston here helps on the way up, and it also gives you that kind of soft eject, or the opposite of soft eject, when it's coming down. The main touch points on this treadmill are also excellent, and it also has runner's flex, which means even if your legs are easily offended like mine are, this is a very soft treadmill to use, and I haven't had one single incident or strain since I've been using it, which is a very different story to what normally happens to me with treadmills. I give the 1750 a 9.5 out of 10 for comfort, and the reason why it's not a 10 out of 10 for comfort is because you have the very expensive incline series above the commercial studio series, and that's even more comfortable. I do get injured easily, but I find with a 5-minute warm-up plus the warm-up that's built into the workouts, I can do a 30 to 40-minute run 3 times a week without any problems. The belt is 20 inches wide and 60 inches long, so a really good size running surface. And the motor is 3.5 continuous horsepower, which I think a lot of people think anything over 3 is good, and I would agree with that. So with 3.5, you can do some really long runs at higher speeds and have multiple users. The 1750 has a top speed of 12 miles an hour and can go from a -3 incline all the way up to a +12. So if you like doing hikes and things like that, then these are really good on the 1750. Now, one thing that I'd like to see improve, this is last year's version, and I don't know if you can see there, but that has a slight rubberized finish, whereas the current version, they've taken that off. You've got a plastic finish, so you only touch that part when you're getting on and off, I guess, but this is not as good as this. The next main touch point is the tablet, and this is an area where NordicTrack have done an amazing job. As you can see, it follows my finger beautifully. The contrast is excellent. The pixel quality is excellent. NordicTrack workouts are 1080p, and this seems to actually uprate them in many cases. 1080p is HD, so they're good quality anyway, but I do notice they look sharper on this compared to my 2022 S22i bike and also my 2450 treadmill. This is an automatic treadmill, so things adjust for you, but if you want to use it in a manual mode or make changes, then you've got lots of options for incline, decline, speed, etc., stop, start. You've also got options here to change the incline and decline to +12 all the way down to -3, and then you've got your speed controls here on the side. One feature I really like with the speed controls is that you can double tap them. So if your running speed is, say, 5.7 miles per hour, if you quickly hit 5 and then 7, it will set the tread to 5.7 miles an hour. It's a really cool feature that I don't think is talked about enough. You will notice that my machine is in kilometers an hour, and the machines will just show your country's kind of speeds. So if you're in the US, it will all be in miles per hour. If you're in France, it will be in kilometers per hour. If you've never been to the UK, then our system here is different to the rest of the world. So we measure temperature in Celsius. I lift weights in kilograms. We buy fuel in litres. But then we measure fuel economy in miles per gallon. Our speeds on our road is in miles, and our distance is also in miles. So it's just a little bit of a strange system here. I weighed myself this morning, I was 12 stone 10. What does that even mean? More relevant to this video though is that if you're like me, you don't really understand kilometers an hour, then you can have the machine in miles per hour here. Conversely, if you're in the States, this will be in miles per hour, and you want kilometers, you can put them along here. These do feel like very expensive, very well put together treadmills, and they're really robust. Another thing I like is that the screen is attached to these arms, and if you follow them down, they go right the way down to the floor. So this means when you're running on the treadmill, you don't get much screen wobble. I can't see any as I'm running here, but you'll be able to see more than I can. As you can tell, I'm a huge fan of these NordicTrack Commercial Series treadmills, and if you're thinking about buying a 1750, I'll put a link in the description. That will take you to the best price on NordicTrack's website, and it also helps support the channel, which is greatly appreciated, and it helps me make more videos like this one. The next thing I like is that they're not static products. So they get better over time with software upgrades that come through periodically. When I first got a Tesla, the salesman said to me that that will be the worst it will ever be, which didn't make sense to me because that's the opposite of any car I've had before. But with software updates over time, the car just got more and more features the longer I owned it. And one of the features on these treadmills, which I didn't like, was this. Now, these screensavers are quite nice to look at, but they just like never go off. So imagine that if this was in a room in your house, let me turn the lights off in here, and I'm sure you can't see me. But if this was in your bedroom, for instance, or a room that you want to get the lights down in, you're just never going to be able to do it unless you unplug the machine. But NordicTrack listened, and they now have sort of standby mode. So you can either keep your machine in night mode, which is quite useful, or you can wake the machine up and it takes you to the main menu here. The standout feature is the iFit Workouts, which is a software that runs on the NordicTrack equipment. I'm doing an Iberian Fast and Fit series, which is excellent with Hannah, but you can just pick workouts anywhere. So this is featured now, these are the featured now workouts, and they're for all abilities really, and I'll talk about that more in a second. And then you've got challenges as well. These are the latest series from iFit. Up next for you, so this is based on things I've done. So this lady is a championship skier, and she's got a running series which is superb. I can't remember this lady's name, but she's hiking up Everest, and I thought that would be easy, but it's very difficult. And you've also got other programs as well, as you can see. More challenges, you've got recommended workouts. These are based on things that you've done before. You've got recommended series. You can also browse by a category, so you've got running, walking, mind, hiking, etc. Or you can even search for workouts. I might fancy a workout in Ireland, for instance. I might want it to be an advanced workout. So if I run the results, this gives me a sprint series, which I've actually done, and it is superb. And the views here, as you can see, they're just gorgeous. But this can get expensive because I've just spent £2,000 on a family holiday to Ireland off the back of these workouts. The next thing I want to talk about is Smart Adjust. So this is a hike in Yosemite, one of my favorite hikes, and the treadmill will auto adjust throughout this workout to match the terrain of the workout. I'm going to come down here for this so you can see what I mean. So the treadmill here is going at 2 miles an hour, and it's on a slight incline. And as the workout changes, you should see the speed of this treadmill change, and also the incline and the decline. And this is the Smart Adjust feature, which makes these workouts even more immersive than they would be if the machines didn't do this. So when the trainer goes up a hill, the machine will incline. When the trainer goes down a hill, the machine will decline. On cue, wow. And then as the trainer changes speed, now they might not change on this because it's just a steady state hike, then the speed of the treadmill will also change. And the good news is, if you're not very confident, this was a concern of mine, I'm not that confident a runner, you can set a max speed on this at 7 miles an hour or 6 miles an hour or 5 miles an hour, and mine's set to 7. And you can also adjust it. So it's just changing again. And if the workout is an advanced workout, you can pull it back to an intermediate level, and it will remember that for this workout, and then all the workouts you do afterwards. If you want to do a beginner workout and you're an advanced runner, this bit. So I just wondered why it slowed down. It's a tricky bit. If you're an advanced athlete and you want to do a beginner workout, then conversely you can ramp everything up and the machine will make an easy workout a lot harder for you. So iFit have 17,000 workouts and I haven't found a treadmill workout on here, intermediate, beginner or advanced, which couldn't be tailored personally for my fitness level. And you can tailor that further. It's hard to walk and talk. So we're at a 3% incline, as you can see. The speed set to 2.3 miles per hour. And it's also measuring my heart rate here. I'm wearing a heart rate monitor. And if I were to reach the top end of where it wanted me to be, if I was going into a zone it didn't want me to be in, it would reduce the intensity. And conversely, if I was taking it too easy, it could increase the intensity for me as well. So the smart adjust can be turned off, and also active pulse can be turned off or on as well. The next thing I want to talk about is the iFit software itself, which is very versatile. So one iFit subscription will cover your treadmill. You may then want to get a bike or a rower, and it'll all be under the same subscription. You may use the app on your phone, or you might use the app on something like an Apple TV or Roku, etc. if you're going to be doing something like Pilates or strength workouts. And as you've seen already, iFit are very good at filming their workouts in the most amazing locations. And when you get your NordicTrack treadmill, you'll get a free month of software, and then you will be put onto the family plan, which you pay monthly for your membership. Now that's fine. My advice would be though to decide how many people in your household will be using the machine. So if you're a sole user, for instance, you don't want to be on a family membership for $180 for the year, which is unbelievable for the amount of workouts you get. If you're a family member, then you might like to do what I do, is I will just look for the sales. So several times a year I have a sale. I recently purchased a 2-year membership. I'm bought in. I didn't buy a year's membership, but that was good value. But I bought a 2 years membership and it was this price here. I think it was something like £400 or something like that, which works out to be about £17 a month. So there's great versatility with the software, unlike some other companies where you're just fixed with the price. You can shop around and you can save quite a bit of money on your membership. As I've mentioned, mine's like $21 a month for a family of 5 membership, just because I bought it for 2 years and in their Black Friday sale. In conclusion, the Studio Series treadmills are my favorite NordicTrack treadmills to use. The software is great. The auto adjust features are also make the workout so much better as well. I actually think, I don't want to put this out there. I'm going to put this out there. I think the 1750 is probably, I may regret it, but I think the 1750 is the sweet spot for all the treadmills that NordicTrack make when you look at kind of value over functionality, because this is a really substantial tread. The price, they're not cheap, are they? But it's not overly expensive. And that's why I think the 1750 is probably the best tread for 93% of users. So what about the other 7%? Let me ask you these 3 questions. Now, do you buy the latest Pro Max version of the iPhone as soon as it comes out, even though you've already got the current model? Number 2, do you drive slowly but have the fastest version of your model of car? Number 3, would this outline that NordicTrack have very kindly put on this screen here around the tablet remind you of what you could have had if you'd have bought the 2450? If you've answered no to those questions, then congratulations. Unlike me, you are officially a proper adult, and the 1750 I feel will probably exceed your expectations quite a bit. It really is a fantastic treadmill. If you've answered yes to any of those questions, say 2 of those questions, then you're probably going to want to watch this video here where I compare these 2 treadmills with each other. Well, I hope you found this video useful. As mentioned, I'll put a link in the description which will take you to NordicTrack's website, and it also helps support the channel, so thank you very much. And until next time, see you soon.